Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Folks, we are on the Clone Wars Digest comic books here. I am going to just review these two at a time. So the first one I want to talk about is Shipyards of Doom. This is one where, I said this when I first reviewed it, Anakin comes up with the idea of freezing everyone in carbonite to get through this, so their life signs won't be showing. They'll be frozen in carbonite, and then they can get behind enemy lines and then, all get thawed out. Now, the reason to why that is significant, because in Empire Strikes Back, of course, Darth Vader will use the same method to freeze Han Solo to carry him to the Emperor. Sadly, Ahsoka is in this, and she basically sulks the whole time because Anakin won't let her go. But once the whole team is frozen, she is literally seen crying in a corner, and then the Admiral goes up to her and goes, Commander, what do you want to do next? She went, wait. And she kind of looks at him all pouty face and goes, you forgot to freeze me too. He went, did General Skywalker say you could? And she goes, yes. Like, it's the most unconvincing thing ever. And even the Admiral, as he's freezing her, goes, I hope I don't get in trouble for this. It's so dumb. Ahsoka's dumb. But of course, she's the one, because she went with them, she was able to help them all get thawed out in time, or else they never would have been thawed out. It's weird because they get dropped into the sand in their carbonite form, and I guess something goes not according to plan, which is why Ahsoka being there makes a difference. I don't know. Anyway, they're going to this planet where it's they're working on ships for the Separatists, but he's protected because he has live slaves. And that's why I can't remember what his species is right now. I think it's a Mun, but that's why he has live slaves. They're not really the fastest, they're not the most efficient, but at least that stops from an air raid, because he knows the Republic will not try to blow up his ship, his ship station, if it's with live slaves. If it was robots, they'd blow the whole thing up. So when Anakin and Obi-Wan arrive to kind of do some undercover ops work, Anakin starts freeing the slaves. He's slicing their collars open and saying, come on, join us in the fight. But they don't. In fact, they turn both of the Jedi into him. He goes, that's because, they're used to being slaves. Now, Anakin cannot understand it. He can't fathom this. But Obi-Wan's like, hey, they've been beaten down for so long, Anakin. What do you expect? Well, eventually the slaves find out the true meaning. Even though if you have them in collars, wouldn't that mean you're a bad guy? But they have to hear the master go, oh, you are the best human shield ever. They're like, wait, you just use us for fodder? That's the only reason you have us here? Dude, he has collars around your neck. What, that prevents you from escaping or doing anything that he doesn't want you doing. He gives everyone an extra ration of food for turning in the Jedi. It's like, what? Well, then, of course, they all wise up and go, hey, this guy's just using us as a human shield so the Republic won't blow up his, shipbuilding station. So let's go ahead and revolt now. It's just a generic story. At the end, it's really weird because Count Dooku contacts Lord Sidious with Ventress around him. Now, it hasn't happened before chronologically, and I'd never remembered seeing that, she knew about Sidious that early, or maybe she always did. I always thought that at first Dooku kept her, underneath him, and I don't know. I just never seen him talk to Sidious. I'm sure she knew about Lord Sidious, but he communicates with her with Lord Sidious right with Ventress in the room. I'd never seen that before. Anyway, that's Shipyards of Doom. The second one is the Wind Raiders of Taloraan. Basically, it starts off on Bothan, and I think we see Borsk Fila. It's called First Secretary Falia. And they're asking him if he'd like to join the Republic now that they saved him from the Separatists. He went, yes, we've been wanting to join the Republic for a long time. And Ahsoka goes, wait, he's lying. He's the one who called the Separatists here in the first place. And then Fila gets all upset and runs, says, our deals with the Republic are off. And she's like, couldn't you tell he was lying? And, Obi-Wan and Anakin are like, yeah, we're Jedi too. And Yoda tells her, hey, little one, in diplomacy, we have to kind of, make arrangements. There's a little bit of lying going on. Even though we know that they were trying to get the best of both worlds, and they're trying to save face, that's what you got to do. People lie to you, and you just got to go with it. Well, she doesn't really understand diplomacy and what the importance is, and Yoda tasked Obi-Wan to teaching Anakin and Ahsoka what good diplomacy is. Even though Anakin doesn't seem to need the lesson because he doesn't mind sitting for hours in a, when they go to the next planet they're supposed to do diplomatic work with, which is Taloraan. They're sitting in that room for who knows how long. There is a funny scene. You see Ahsoka like bored on different panels, just being bored, and all you're hearing is blah 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 blah. That's all you're hearing. So that was kind of funny that she's kind of bored throughout the whole conversation, but Anakin doesn't seem bored by it. In fact, he and Obi-Wan are talking about what great strides they made and how this could connect things to the Republic. So I guess Anakin didn't need the lesson. Ahsoka did. Ahsoka gets in some trouble. She finds out there's a hidden separatist base or a droid manufacturing plant already there. So they're already in with the separatists. In fact, that's why the leader of the planet will not meet with them. They said he's busy, but he knows that, you know, Jedi can read minds. And so he doesn't want the Jedi reading his mind and alerting them that he is already working with Count Dooku. So he sent his emissary or whatnot, who has no idea they're working with his planet's working with the separatists. So he has a clear mind. He feels more honest. Well, of course, when the whole thing blows up and they find out you're in league with the separatists, and the droidicars come and roll up, capture the Jedi, the leader reveals himself the whole time, and the emissary is upset, you know, that he was betrayed this whole time. Well, then the emissary goes to the Jedi and says, hey, look, I had no idea this was going on. You must believe me, Jedi. And Obi-Wan's like, how do we know you're not lying? And I want to say, well, remember earlier, like at the beginning of the book, when you told Ahsoka, Jedi can tell when people are lying? I mean, it was literally the lesson at the beginning of the book. I don't know who the writer was of this. I didn't write it down, but goodness gracious. Now you're accusing this emissary of lying. You said you could detect him, but of course the emissary brought their lightsabers, which is how they know they can trust him. Not even paying attention to your own storyline. That's just ridiculous. Other things that go on. Ahsoka gets captured when she's running away from the the security on the planet. She's running through the clouds or whatnot. She gets caught by the Wind Raiders, who are these people who ride beasts, winged birds, giant birds, and they turn out to be just clans, different type of clans. She makes a deal with the clan to help them out to run the separatists off the planet. And they do help her in the end. And they say, oh, Snips, how did you convince them? And she went, I used diplomacy, master. And like, you did? Yes. I told them they could have food, supplies, and anything else they want. That's not diplomacy, moron. You just said, hey, you can just rob them blind. Take anything you want. If you just help us, I'll give you anything. That's not diplomacy. But yet Anakin goes, ha ha, I guess she is learning, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan goes, yes, she is. Because she offered to give them everything, anything you want. She said food, supplies, and anything else they want. Well, yeah, you make that deal with anyone, you'll get a deal. So dumb. Oh, this is weird because the leader of the planet, when he finds out he's ruined and the droid factory is destroyed, he kills himself. It actually shows him, it says, where's your leader? He went, well, he knows better than to cross Count Dooku, and he knows there's a fate worse than death. So he went to, as we say on this planet, take a walk in the clouds. And it shows him on the edge of a platform, you know, with nothing underneath, and it shows his foot stepping off of the platform, and then it shows the platform again with like some dust, like he had just dropped off. I was like, woo, that's a little dark. Didn't see that one coming. But anyway, those are the first two books. I'll get to the next two later.